shake that person's hand and introduce yourself. Typically, you'd ask a question to kind of break the ice. So an example would be like, oh, isn't it great that AU is hosting this awesome networking event? Just something like that. Just to kind of break the ice and make a connection with that person. First, what you're going to do before you talk about yourself is you're going to ask questions about the other person. So you're going to want to ask questions about what does the other person do, what do they do on a day-to-day basis on their job, what field are they in, what company do they work for, how did they get to where they are today, any past internships, things like that. That's what you're going to want to ask. If they seem interested in learning more about you, then you're going to want to give what we call an elevator pitch. So the idea behind that is pretend you're in an elevator with someone that you really, really want to work for. You have anywhere from a 15 to 30-second speech that says, who are you, what are you all about, what are you majoring in, what are your goals for the future. So that's a really good thing to kind of work on in advance of going to one of these networking events. Figure out what you're going to say before you even get there. So when you meet someone who you really want to make a good first impression with, you have something to say to them. After you develop this kind of relationship, after you've done your little elevator pitch, you can feel free to ask for their business card. Typically they will come to networking events with a business card in hand, and that'll be a great way to contact them in the future. And you can always ask them if they want to grab lunch or coffee sometime in the future and get to know you a little bit better. If you are looking for interns or if you're looking for a full-time job, that's a great first step in informational interviewing. Informational interviewing would be that next step if you do form that relationship with a person. You can go out to lunch with them and just really get to know them. Ask the same questions again. How did they get to where they are today? What do they do on a day-to-day basis? And be sure to ask them questions. That's something really important. So you can set up that meeting via the information on their business card, via email or phone is probably the best way to go about it. If someone gave you that information, definitely make sure to let them know who gave you that information so they don't just get random emails completely out of the blue. And my last tip, I guess, for networking is use your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is an awesome tool if you're looking for a job or internship. Definitely make a profile if you don't have one already. Make sure it looks nice before you're handing out the URL to people, since you don't want to give them a half-finished LinkedIn profile, but make sure you have a professional-looking profile picture. Make sure all of your experiences are on there. Kind of make it as complete as possible. And then from there, you can actually hand out that LinkedIn URL and connect with people that you meet on informational interviews or networking events to kind of further establish that relationship for the future. Anyone have any questions about networking? Sure.